Welcome, student. Let us start for the revision. Okay. So here for the first lesson, that is the Indian subcontinent and history. So in this lecture, we have a relations between the subcontinent geographical area with the ancient history. So look at this picture. This picture is from Kerala. This style of houses are belongs to Kerala. Look at first. We make this picture more broad. The pictures are disturbing. So wait. Okay. Now. Okay. Now look at this picture. Here in this picture we saw a cow and it's a double floor house. With a well into his compound. Next picture is of the mud house, which has a grass. This 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 type of houses belongs to the Bengal or Assam, where the heavy rains are fall. Next picture is belongs to Maharashtra. Okay, it is a double floor. So let us start with the explanations of the first point, that is the geographical conditions and the history. There are the lifestyle, which is lifestyle of the man's keep on changing. His technology becomes upgraded, and so he try to adjust with the surroundings. This leads to develop the human civilization. There are another reasons that this civilization is developed, or human settlements are generated, because in the Stone Age, the group of peoples are engaged in the hunting. While hunting, they found that there are some seeds which we eat, and if we burrow under the soil, the new trees or new trees are get, or new grains are get birth under that soil. In this way, he developed the system of agriculture, and due to this system, he settled near the river. So the many this ancient culture flourished on the bank of the river. Human society develops, or human culture develops. These societies or culture has four components. The first one is place. Means the culture, the development of culture is related with the geographical conditions, which that group of a community faces, human being faces. Okay. N- Second, the diet, clothing, and housing occurs in the fact that all human life in any regions are largely extant with its geographical characteristics. The other thing that affects the human culture, that is the climate, rainfall, agricultural produce, flora and fauna, mm, and the region where we live are the sources of our livelihood. The lifestyle and culture of the region develops with their support. Human settlements have flourished wherever the means of living and plentiful. Over the period of a time, these settlements develop further village and town, but sometimes reasons like degradations of the environment, drought, invasion, etc., leads to the scarcity of those means. The people forced to leave their settlement, villages and towns become deserted. We can see these instance occurs time to time. So the culture of any countries keep on changing as the culture changes of that nation. The geographical feature, when we are going to study about the culture, Indian culture or Indian, the culture which is resides in the Indian subcontinent, we must uh, we must go through the geographical feature of India here, because India has a very diversified geography. Let us start with it. Let us start and get the revisions of these uh, points of the geographical feature of India. In India, we have Himalayan ranges up to the north, and at the south we have Indian Ocean. While in the east we have Bay of Bengal, and the hilly regions of the uh, northern states. While in the west we have Arabian Sea. So, Arabian Sea and Western Ghats and Deccan Plateau. So, India, and there are also a desert of Thar. And some India has some island parts. So, India has a very diversified in geographical uh, condition. So let us go through these different sources through which we get the knowledge about the geographical condition of the nation. So that whole nation and national condition, geographical conditions are classified into 6 points. The first one, the Himalaya. Second one, the plains of Sindhu, Ganga, and Brahmaputra river. So Sindhu is in nowadays is in Pakistan. Ganga flows from the Himalayas to the Bay of Bengal, while Brahmaputra also flows uh, from Himalaya to Bay of Bengal. But Brahmaputra has a large length in Himalaya. The third desert, the Deccan Plateau, the coastal region of Western and Eastern Ghats, the island in the seas, that is Andaman and Nicobar Islands, while here near is Lakshadweep. Okay. So there is a very diversify in a geographical condition. The first point is the Himalaya. It is called the Himalaya. It is the one largest spread mountain of the world. It is started from the Hindu Kush and reaches at the northern west up to the Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, it majorly covered the part of the Indian subcontinent. This is considered as the wall of Indian subcontinent from the Central Asia or a Chinese desert or a Chinese part. There is a land route through the Khyber and Bolan passes in the Hindu Kush mountain. These routes were connected to an ancient trade route. The trade routes from China passes through the Central Asia, reaches Arabia. It is known as a Silk Route or Silk Road because the Chinese silk is very famous in the world and it is traded with the Arabian countries through this line. So this route is considered as a Silk Route. The route through these passes were used by the many foreign invaders to enter ancient India. Many foreign travelers also came to the India by this route. This is Khyber Pass and another is a Bolan Pass. Okay, the plains of Sindhu, Ganga and Brahmaputra. India or Indian subcontinent has many rivers or drainage system. Among them, the Sindhu River, Ganga River and Brahmaputra River has a prominent place because it has large valleys and uses of and serve to the largest population. The region that consists for the three big river and their tributaries are extend from Sindh Punjab and here northwestern states. Here is the picture of river Ganga, that is Prayagraj. It is a holy river, and there is a story in the ancient also, in ancient Puranas also, about Bhagirath, the west to the present days Bangladesh. In the east, it was in the region that the earliest Indian civilization of Harappa and later states of empire in ancient India emerged. Here is the Thar Desert. Thar Desert. The Thar Desert spread across Rajasthan, Haryana and some part of Gujarat. A part of the desert lies in today's Pakistan. Desert has a Satluj river to its north and the Aravalli mountains ranges to its east, the Rann of Kutch to its south and the Indus river to its west. The Ghaggar river that originates in Himachal Pradesh reaches in the Thar desert. It is known as a Hakra in Pakistan. Its course in Rajasthan and Pakistan has now dried up. Many sites of the Harappan civilizations are situated along the now dry course of the river. Next point is the Deccan Plateau. This is another region which is in a triangle to the west of Vindhya Parvat, to the south, to the Indian Ocean in the south up to Kanyakumari. The region between the east and west coast of India tapers of the south. The region has the Arabian Sea and its west, and Indian Ocean to its south, and the Bay of Bengal to the east. The region thus bound by the sea at the three sides called Peninsula. Indian Peninsula. A major part of the Indian Peninsula is occupied by the Deccan Plateau. The mountain ranges of the Vindhya and Satpura are located to the north of the Deccan Plateau. The Sahyadri Mountains ranges are to the west. They are known as the Western Ghats. The west of the Sahyadri is the coastal region of Konkan and Malabar. So, the Konkan part and Malabar part is the part of the Western Ghat of Deccan Plateau. The mountain on the eastern side, the Deccan Plateau, is to be known as the Eastern Ghat. Deccan Plateau has a fertile land where many post-Harappan agrarian culture flourished. Deccan Plateau was a part of Maurya Empire, the largest in ancient India. After the decline of the Maurya Empire, two several other kingdoms and smaller empires continued to flourish in this region. The last point is the coastal region. Second last point. From the time of the Harappan civilization, ancient India uh, had a trade relations with the western countries. These trades was carried out by the sea. Therefore, India has developed contact and interactions with the foreign culture and people at the seaport. Later on, land routes came to be the trade and transport, but the importance of the sea routes did not diminish. So here the island in the sea. The next point is the island in the sea. Andaman and Nicobar are the Indian island in the Bay of Bengal, and Lakshadweep is a group of Indian islands in the Arabian Sea. The locations of these islands have made been important in the ancient sea trade. The manuscript Peripherals of the Erythraean Sea and Book of the Red Sea makes a mention of the Indian island. It has been written by the unknown Greek sailor. So here Here we have a picture of the Indian, that is the Himalayan ranges, mountain ranges up to Arunachal Pradesh. Okay, these are has five type of ranges. That is from the southern, merely about the five ranges. The center range is called as a Himadri. Next mountains are, that is the Hindu Kush mountains, which is situated in the nowadays in Afghanistan. Nowadays Afghanistan, and on these ranges we have Khyber Pass and Bolan Pass, through which many invaders come to India. Here we have a seaport